Casanovians. All right, boys. This is probably going to be a long live stream. I just want to go deep and talk to you boys about how to actually get a girlfriend and how to get a girlfriend through daytime cold approach. Yeah, so not swiping your life away on a screen, not going to grotty nightclubs and settling for some low quality girl at 3 a.m., not mass DMing women on social media like a little simp, not try to strategically get women through your social circle, how to actually meet women organically through authentic face-to-face interaction, and how to actually find that gob-smackingly gorgeous girlfriend. So with the amount of guys that I've now worked with, it's come to my understanding more and more that when you strip back all the bullshit, guys just want to find that wife-worthy woman. Yeah, they want to find that best friend who they can do life with. They want to feel wanted, right? They're sick of feeling lonely. They're sick of swiping their life away on a screen and not getting the quality interactions and the quality connections that they're craving. They're sick of watching their friends settle down and have families, having children, feeling as though they missed the boat. Because traditionally, the guys who I work with, they're over the age of 35 years old. They are entrepreneurs, they're business owners, they're high achievers. And traditionally, these individuals are used to winning in their career, but there's an area of life which they haven't got sorted, which is their dating life, right? They might have money in the bank, they might have a great body, they might have great career, great health, but the women's side of things is lacking. And they come to the realization that I came to 4 years ago, where I was like, I just feel as though I've exhausted all other options. I don't want to do dating apps. I don't want to do nightclubs. I don't want to do social circle game because at the time I didn't have any friends. I don't want to be doing the whole Instagram DM type of beta shit. So cold approach really appealed to me. Like I really loved, I saw it as a way not just to improve my dating life, but to improve myself holistically. I think that's the first thing that I would say to you. Cold approach is the most aggressive form of self-development that I found. It's like bicep curls for your brain. It's like getting psychologically shredded, right? And we like, in my private community, the Entourage, we like to call cold approach resistance training for the rest of your social life, okay? So it's the person who you become through immersing yourself in daytime cold approach. That's what enables you and has enabled many of the guys who I've worked with to find themselves a girlfriend, right? Like I can list so many guys who I've worked with where they came, they applied to work with me. At the time, before they applied, I was like, right, bro, what do you want? All right, that's the first question that I'll ask anybody. What do you actually want? Because what you focus on will become your reality. And usually guys will give wishy-washy answers. They're like, oh, I saw your videos online. I've been following you for a while. Oh, I just like to become a little bit more confident. Or, yeah, I'd kind of like to just play the field for a little bit. Yeah, I'd kind of like to have a little bit of fun. I'm like, dude, at this point now, like I'm super no bullshit with people. I'm like, right, look, I've heard all this blah, blah bullshit before. Like, especially if the guy is over the age of 35, and he knows that he doesn't have the time that he once had in his 20s, especially for guys in his 40s. Like, dude, you've got urgency, right? That urgency is there and you know it's there. And it's like, let's just get this shit sorted. And it starts by being no bullshit. Like, what do you want? And then when I dig beneath the surface, it's like I actually get the real answer, because people will always give two answers: the public answer and the private answer. It's like the surface level chit chat, there's always underlying pain points there. It's always the same thing. Like, I'm lonely, you know what? I just want to find that wife-worthy woman that I can start a family with, who accepts me, who loves me. I haven't received love from the feminine in a long time. Just go over to the testimonials on my website. I'll link it below. You can see guys who've had girlfriend experiences, like how they've completely transformed their dating lives by working with me. But it starts by, first of all, recognizing we're not chasing a goal, we're chasing an identity, okay? Who do we need to become in order to attract the woman or the women, if you are looking for like multiple relationships? Who do you need to become in order to attract her? And for me, you know, you can put focus on looks, money, status, and sure, like these things are useful, right? These things are great to buy you attention. Like looking good, especially looking good isn't open. It buys you like 20 seconds of the woman's attention. It doesn't sell the product entirely. What sells the product is who you are as opposed to what you have. And the most important metric that I've found is balls, right? Balls. If you want to know what women truly care about, they give a fuck about a guy who gives a fuck about himself and has balls, right? So the ability to do what you want because it pleases you to do so. If you see a woman who you find attractive, you go in for that approach. You don't apologize for it. You approach the woman with full conviction. When you're speaking with her, you're not shying away by using these like lukewarm, tepid compliments like, hi, you look nice, you look kind of cute, you look interesting, and I had to come over here, I had to meet you. It's like, no, yo, just saw you. You look so good, and I would have regretted not coming over here and seeing what you're about. Like, what are you doing? Like, do you understand? I make the point on this channel, it's not what you say, it's not how you say it, it's who you are when you say it. If you want to get a girlfriend through cold approach, it's not going to happen overnight, especially if you're doing all this stuff on your own, right? It's not going to happen overnight, right? Stop buying into this bullshit marketing where it's like, get any girl into bed in 5 easy steps. It's like, that's like a decade out of date. If you're still falling for that, you're a moron, right? It takes time, right? And that's what I give to guys in my program, right? I explain to guys from the jump, it's like, listen, this is not some quick fix. It's not some magic bullet solution. This is a full overhaul of your current character. It's not about doing your best, it's doing what is necessary, because your best has got you to where you are today, right? Just being completely transparent with you. Just look around at your life right now, right? Just look around at it, right? Are you happy, right? Because if you're watching this video, you're probably not fucking happy, and that's okay, right? Evil is a knowledge that believes itself complete. We don't want to sink into the comfort quicksand of complacency and be like, yeah, I'm fine, like everything's good. No, be radically honest with yourself. Look at the money that you're making. Look at the women that you're dating. Look at your mindset. Look at what you're doing for a job. If these areas are not satisfactory right now, then it's about metaphorically crucifying this current version of yourself and elevating yourself into the version of yourself who you need to be to attract that wife-worthy woman, right? Are you with me so far? I really hope that you do, because this is the real shit right here, right? This is what works. When I started all of this stuff, like daytime cold approach 4 years ago, I had no idea of the mountain that was in front of me, right? All I knew was I was sad, I was lonely, I was a porn addict, I had erectile dysfunction, I hated myself, I hated the life that I was living, I was disgusted with the person that I'd become. I had £24.82 of universal credit in my bank account, I had to ask the government for money because I was broke as a joke. Then I started working this dead-end 9-to-5 job, and I just knew in myself that I was destined for more than this, right? I just knew, right? And you probably feel this in yourself as well. This is why I get emotional and energetic about this, because there's music inside of you. There's a symphony that you want to share with the world. You know you could be dating better women. You know you could be making more money. You know you could have more of a fulfilling career, but you settle because it's safe, right? You settle because you think it's safe. And in life, we don't get what we deserve. We get what we think we deserve. Balls, balls, balls. That's what the metric is that actually matters, right? Just being able to walk into a room and feeling like you belong there. And this doesn't mean belittling others. It means elevating yourself. But belief follows action. So if you've not done any direct cold approaches right now, just get out there and just start doing them ASAP. They don't need to be good at the start. They don't need to be good. They don't need to be perfect. Fuck perfection, just show up, okay? Go out today, find one moderately attractive woman, approach her, say, hi, excuse me, I know this is really random, but I just wanted to say you look amazing. Start off with all the women, like the hashtag MILF shakes. That's what I did when I first started, because in my experience, especially if you're a younger guy, all the women, they're a lot more receptive. They'll give you more of a time of day, right? They get it. They've got skin in the game. You can have really fun, playful conversation. Just type in Kristian Casanova MILF. So many great like infield videos from back in the day. But you can just start off like that. But belief follows action, okay? This is a game about belief, right? Belief is one of the ultimate aphrodisiacs. you'll never find a successful person who didn't have belief, right? It just doesn't happen, right? You almost just have to be delusionally optimistic at the start to think you can actually achieve things. Yeah, that's what it was for me 4 years ago. And that's how I define confidence now. It's optimism in the absence of certainty. So you might not be certain right now. You might feel as though the odds are stacked against you. Maybe you're 45 years old. Maybe you've come out of a divorce. Maybe the dating game has changed and you just don't think you're good enough. And you project that perceived lack of self-worth onto everything that you do. It's not just approaching women. It's not just approaching women. It goes deeper than that, right? If you're not currently receiving love from the feminine, if you're not currently, I'm just going to put it bluntly, if you're not currently getting laid, right? You can have all the money in the world. You can have all of the perceived status. If nobody loves you, if you're going and sleeping alone every night, if you're paying for play, if you go into seedy strip clubs and you're just blowing all your cash on like cheap dopamine, then there is work to do. Right? There is work to do. But the reason why I believe so much in this skill of cold approach is because it's not only changed my dating life, but it's changed the dating lives of the guys who I've worked with. Like, I've got guys in their 50s, like 50 years old, who are now dating women half their age. We've got one of our guys in the Entourage. We call him the Iceman. I worked with him at the start of this year in London in February. And he's 50 years old. He's now traveling around Eastern Europe. He's got a rotation of statuesque blonde bombshells. And he's now living a rock star dating life that most 20-year-olds would be envious of. I've got another guy, Graham, never had a serious relationship in his entire life, always terrified of talking to women. He spent 3 decades taking zero action. He worked with me in Krakow last year, and within a week of us working together, he's got himself a smoking hot girlfriend. He was actually in a city with one of our Entourage guys recently, and he linked up, he brought his girlfriend along, and it was just amazing to get the feedback. Like, he is now living this dating life that was totally impossible to him this time last year. We've got other guys, again, just go to the testimonials. We've got Jazz, 43 years old, come out of a difficult divorce, thought it was game over for him. I was like, no, dude, it's game on. He got into a great relationship with a 19-year-old Brazilian, smoking hot Brazilian girl. The list goes on. Like, I talk about a lot of these client results, but the reason why I'm sharing them is to show you what's actually possible. Like, can you get a girlfriend through daytime call approach? Yes, you fucking can. I don't subscribe to any of this ideology where it's like, oh, call approach doesn't work. It works as long as you do, but it's not just about going out there and rehearsing lines and techniques. Oh, push, pull, vibe, stack. Oh, has she hooked yet? Like, those technicalities, they make up about 5% of your overall game. Like, what even is game? Like, how do you define game? Because Socrates said, the beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. I define game. I have 2 definitions. First of all, game is simply learning how to get what you want. And another definition is game is the transfer of certainty. Game is the transfer of certainty, or certainly good game. Good game is the transfer of certainty. You might have heard it before. The girl is your mirror and she feels what you feel. That's why it starts with your internal belief system. Like, what do you believe to be true about the world that isn't? Because a lot of guys are running these false narratives that they've either concocted in their own mind or other people have planted into their minds, which make them think that they're not good enough when they approach women. And this castrates some of their confidence. I shared a quote the other day. Who would you be in the absence of your concerns? This is such a powerful quote. If you meditate on it properly, it will change your fucking life. Who would you be in the absence of your concerns? In other words, what would you do if you weren't scared? What would you do if you weren't scared? You would have a big set of balls. You would approach that girl. You would take that new job. You would start that online business. You would travel to that new city. You would say what you wanted rather than what you felt as though you had to say. You would start maximizing life to the fullest potential, right? It's not just about going out, approaching, saying some lines, hoping that girls are going to like you, right? Girls are like the OGs of game, right? Girls invented game. All we're doing when it comes to this type of content is learning how women operate, becoming fluent in the language of the feminine, and just doing our fucking best, right? Like, what I've found to be true is the more I learn, the less I know, right? I'm just a 27-year-old kid who's documenting his life one live stream at a time. I really fucking hope that if one sentence that I've said has helped you, it helps you to get a girlfriend in the future, then my work is done and I'm a happy man, okay? But it's not about the lines, it's not about the tricks and the routines. It's who you are, it's who you become, okay? So if you want to get a girlfriend through daytime cold approach, start off by approaching. Just start off by approaching today. Just do one direct cold approach. It takes about 100 direct cold approaches to start to develop proficiency. And the point of these first 100 cold approaches, they're not to find your future wife. They're not to find the future mother of your child. You're doing them purely as batting practice. So you get skin in the game and you learn what you currently don't know. Because at the moment you don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know, and that's why you're struggling. So that's why these live streams are designed to illuminate what you don't know and hopefully give you the information that you need to go and conquer and win and feel happy and loved. So these first 100 cold approaches that you're doing them as batting practice. You're doing them to develop proficiency and become the version of yourself who's capable of making cold approach work for him. That's what I'm teaching. That's what especially these first 100 cold approaches are going to do. I'm not teaching you how cold approach works. I'm teaching you how you can become the version of yourself who cold approach works for. Now let's translate that into super practical, plain fucking English so you actually know what I'm talking about. Do 100 direct cold approaches. They don't need to be perfect. Fuck perfection. Just show up. Just get them done. Go outside. Hi. Really random. You look amazing. What are you doing today? Oh, you're going shopping. That's nice. Have a good day. Rep that out 100 times. Then the purpose of these approaches, it's the confidence that you develop. It's who you become. Because at the moment, if you don't have experience, you think too many steps ahead, you experience failure in advance, and you reject yourself on the women's behalf. And that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Action alleviates anxiety, okay? Action alleviates anxiety. So once you've done 100 direct cold approaches, now you can start to look at women and you can start to experience success in advance because you've already got a catalog of evidence that you can approach. So once you've got those 100 direct cold approaches, this is where it actually becomes more possible for you to find a girlfriend because now you're no longer scared of actually approaching, right? It's like, oh, I've done this 100 times. It's just another approach. It's just another girl. I don't believe in the one, but I believe in the notion of soulmates. I believe there are women who have been put on this earth specifically for us, and part of our job as divine masculine men is to become the version of ourselves who's ready to meet these women. So you've done 100 direct cold approaches. Just imagine this, right? Imagine you've done 100 direct cold approaches, and then one day you're living in Warsaw, Poland, and you see an absolute worldly struck past you. You, before your 100 direct cold approaches, would just let this absolute worldie walk on by because, hey, you don't have the evidence that you can approach. Evidence has got the loudest voice. But now, because you've got all of this evidence behind you, you know you can approach. Hopefully by now, after doing 100, you can carry a conversation, you can ask for phone numbers. Now you can approach. Now you can approach experiencing success in advance. You can approach with a I want you, but I don't need you type of energy. That is it right there. Like that is the blueprint, right? You've got your 100 direct cold approach. And this is the reason why, a reason why I don't want you to be learning lines and routines is there's a big difference between getting a woman and keeping a woman, right? And most coaches in this space will teach you acquisition. Acquisition being just the approach, just a 5-minute sales pitch. What is more important than acquisition is retention. Right? If you actually want to get a girlfriend through cold approach, you need to continue being the version of yourself who this girl fell for in the first place. Most people get into relationships with strangers because most people are trying to posture in a certain way at the start of that meeting, right? What you want to do when you go over and you meet these women for the first time in person, once you've got your 100 direct cold approaches, so now you feel more confident, lead with authenticity, state transparency, say what you feel rather than what you ought to say. It's not coming from a place of pessimism, like, please like me, I'm a sniveling mess. It's coming from a place of power. It's like, yo, just saw you, gonna be completely honest, I was a bit shitting myself coming over here. I would have regretted not coming over here, like, you look amazing, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna come over, right? Just that, you can put it into your own words, you can put it into your own language. I don't know you right now, I'm basically just talking to myself, I'm talking to a fucking screen. But when I work with my guys one-on-one, big reason why they get the results that they do is because everything that I do is individually tailored, right? It's one-to-one, right? Like the value that I provide my guys is obscene, right? It's like one-to-one immersion, weekly one-to-one calls. They get access to a private community of like-minded individuals, so they never feel as though they're on their own. They get invitations to worldwide retreats, right? So as well as their one-to-one immersion, they get more coaching stacked on top of that. They can network, they can mastermind with like-minded individuals. That they get access to the WhatsApp accountability chat. So it's like having wingmen in your pocket. So you never feel as though you're on your own again. I've made my program so fucking good that it would be unreasonable for you not to succeed. All right, so if you're actually serious about getting results, you actually want to find a girl, you actually want to find a woman, like a wife-worthy woman, like you want to find a partner, a life partner. Like you got to that stage in your life where you're like, I've exhausted all other options. I just want something that works. I want to follow a tried and tested solution. I just want to work with somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. Then I'm your fucking guy. Right, I'm your fucking guy. Like I know exactly how to help people. And I think it's because of the level of care that I give to every individual, because you are a unique individual. You've got your own pain points. You've got your own things that you're struggling with. Until you can get somebody to give you an individually tailored remedy, this is just general advice for general people, right? Like if you need an individual solution, I can give you that. I can give you that. I can change your fucking life. And I can say that with certainty because I've done it with so many guys. I just need to make sure you're the right person. Like you might not be the sort of person that I want to work with. So yeah, if you're interested in working with me, there's a link below. That'll get you started out there. But continuing to be the version of yourself who she fell in love with, like this is such an important aspect of the whole relationship dynamic, because usually if a guy is following outdated, old school pickup advice, he's masquerading as this personification of perfection. He's trying desperately hard to be perceived as a high value man. Eventually that mask will slip, right? She doesn't want a yes man. She wants a man who she can say yes to. And what is truly compelling about a man is the ability to just be honest, right? Honesty is one of the greatest aphrodisiacs. Just being able to declare your desire to women in a non-needy way, yeah? And this notion of abundance, I think that is your ultimate superpower when it comes to getting a girlfriend through cold approach. Because most relationships today, and I've been in so many failed relationships in the past, so I can say this, most relationships are based off of scarcity. Loyalty in most relationships is based off of scarcity. The guy, his purchasing power in the sexual marketplace, it's not a case of he wants her, he just wants someone, right? I think we've all been there. We've all been guilty of settling for what we thought we could get rather than going after what we actually wanted. Once you become proficient in cold approach, you develop balls. You develop balls to show up as your most authentic self. This is deeply arousing. Audacity is arousing. Ballsy. Like, I think this is why guys find it useful to be like, what would insert iconic figure do? Like, what would Tony Montana do? What would The Rock do? What would Batman do? Because these force us to think in terms of an identity. Yeah, and that's why I was saying to you right at the start of this stream, we're not chasing a goal, we're chasing an identity. Who would you be in the absence of your concerns? What would you do if you weren't scared? Like, dude, I'm in Dubai at the moment. I spent today in a room full of millionaires, guys who are making so much financial capital. Money is not my main motivator. For a lot of guys in this mastermind, money is their main motivator. One of the guys was like, yeah, kind of struggling a bit with our business at the moment. We're doing 900,000 euros a month and we've hit a sticking point. And I'm like, look, I'm an ambitious individual. I've got an obsession with progression, but I think like, when is enough enough? Do you know what I mean? I think money can't just be the only goal. For me, it's impact over revenue. Does that make sense? But like just being around that environment of like-minded, just like absolute savages, guys who are further ahead than me, it just forced me to think bigger, to think differently. That's the identity that we're sculpting. Now, if you want me to go deeper into identity, how I overcame my self-limiting beliefs, how I became the version of myself who's speaking to you today, I'm by no means the finished product. Like I say, I'm just trying to figure stuff out. I'm not a guru. I describe myself as a freedom from bullshit practitioner. I don't see myself as a dating coach. I'm not a pickup artist. I'm not a day gamer. I'm a freedom from bullshit practitioner. And I believe that everything that we do as men should be done. I shouldn't say should because I don't like that word, but I believe that freedom from bullshit is the way forward. Like stripping back the bullshit, yeah, connecting with our most authentic self, because there's so much brainwashing. And I think a part of the masculine journey is to rid ourselves of this brainwashing, to become more free from bullshit, so we can go after the women that we want, we can make the money that we want, we can live the life that we want. This has been more of an esoteric overview of how to get a girlfriend through daytime call approach. I know that this is not going to resonate with everybody. I think there's a lot of guys who are just looking for this like very like pick-up-y solution where it's like, yeah, but what's the best line? What's the best open? Oh, how do I neg better? I ain't your guy. Like, I'm looking for high frequency individuals who understand this goes deeper than day game. It's becoming the most fuckable, magnetic, confident version of yourself across the board, because that is ultimately what gets yourself a girlfriend. Like, I've got a girlfriend right now. The majority of the guys that I work with, they're either in like long-term relationships, they're in situationships, they're juggling multiple relationships. This is all from the skills that I've taught them. It has come from being around me, like actually spending time with me in person, being part of the community, coming to the weekly calls, booking in one-to-one calls with me. So what happens when you take action? We become successful through osmosis. Proximity is power. We become what we surround ourselves with. So listen, if you're looking for a like-minded community, if you want to connect and work with me on a personal level, you're serious about taking your dating life to the moon, what are you waiting for? Like, booking I'll fill out a free application form. And my coaching's closed at the moment, but you can get yourself on the wait list. My goal is just complete world domination at this point. Like, the goal is just make my private community, the Entourage, the #1 network on the planet for high achievers who want to get dates on demand with high quality head turners. We're building something truly special in this group. The caliber of individual that we're attracting, it goes beyond just the scope of dating. This is full blown, holistic, personal renaissance. That's how we like to call self-improvement. It's personal renaissance, right? So yeah, if you want to get more info, get my free courses, I'll link those below. It's getting kind of dark here, so it's about the lighting, but hopefully the audio is good. If you enjoyed this live stream, drop it a like. 100 direct call approaches, develop a big set of balls, do what scares you on a daily basis, run towards resistance, dive bomb into discomfort. Don't die with your music still inside of you. Imagine yourself 20 years older, like 20 years from now. Imagine yourself looking back at yourself who is alive right now. Like, you've got the greatest opportunity ever. There was a 1 in 400 trillion chance of you being born. So yeah, let's go out there, take radical, massive action. And I look forward to seeing you inside the Entourage at some point in the future. All right, brother, I love you. I'll speak with you tomorrow. Bye.